Hi everybody, Bob Turner back again with some tips and tricks about contracting and sharing some of the wisdom that I've gained over 20 years or so doing this. That might help you not step in some of the potholes and trip over some of the things that I've tripped over in the past. But I've got some notes here. If you see me looking down, I'm referring to them. I've got a great memory, but it's a short one, so I like to stay on track. Sometimes I get off on a tangent or a rant, and I'll try not to do that today. But I wanted to talk to you about how contractors can build mental resilience under pressure. And I've thought, as I put this together, I thought about how I typically respond to pressure or stress in the contracting environment. And not unlike how I operate in an emergency, I tend to get calm. Some people tend to ramp it up and go off the rails, so to speak, but I tend to become really calm. If I'm at an accident scene, I'm that calm guy saying, hey, do this, do that. Don't go off the rails. However, one of the things I've noticed with contracting is that it builds, and the stress builds until I kind of blow, not on someone else, but just internally, whatever, where I crash, or I need to just sleep in or get away or wipe stuff off my desk and it doesn't get handled. So stress comes out in different ways. But we want to talk today about how you can build some resilience and how you can maybe set up some boundaries and kind of keep that stuff at bay. And when it does land on you, you can kind of go like this and not have it chew you up. So, and being able to perform at a high level while that stuff's going on. And it hasn't been until just recently with my business that I've realized that, you know, it's just going to be part of the business. There are some things that, you know, whether it's people showing up, whether it's people expecting too much, not wanting to pay enough, not wanting to pay at all, slow permitting processes, things that can really affect whether or not you're successful or how successful you are with your contracting business. It wasn't until recently I realized that, hey Bob, this shit's just part of the game. And sometimes when you accept that, it doesn't make it right. But it does make it a little bit easier pill to swallow, understanding, hey, as hard as I try, I may not be able to restructure this entire industry on my own and make it work just for me and how I like to go throughout my day. So anyway, we've got a little mindset thing you can download at the end of the video. I've been messing around with some of that lately. I hope you like that. Give me some feedback, like, follow, all of that stuff. I'm really trying to put some content out going forward here specific to contractors, and I hope you enjoy it. But I looked up mental resilience, you know, because I want to come with a decent definition. The ability to bounce back from stress, challenges, and setbacks while staying focused and effective. And is that not what I was just talking about? Really, like our job as a GC or a sub or whatever we're doing, whether an HVAC guy, is to be that calm, even during the storm for the customer. When the customer's, oh my God, I don't know what's happening. We got this. We got it under control. Just staying calm. And we've got a strong foundation. If we relate resilience to construction, we start with the foundation, right? So we want to have a good base for our resilience and for how, you know, I always say the platform from which we jump. If we roll into a job site and we're already here, it doesn't take much to get here, right? So we want to stay calm, keep things in perspective all the time, especially when under stressed. And some of these common stressors, say tight deadlines, right? Tight or unreasonable deadlines. You know, sometimes it's okay to say, hey, gee, I don't think that's reasonable. I don't think we're going to be able to accomplish that. We can try. Or simply, hey, I wish I could. When somebody, can you get that door installed by now? Hey, I wish I could. And as my friend Anthony always says, no is a complete sentence. Probably not the most diplomatic, but it does work. Another stressor or thing that can cause us, you know, some angst is budget constraints. We had a situation on one of our jobs where, hey, the electrician couldn't get the wire down the right side of the wall, and we had to flip the swing of a door. The door happened to be a $1,000 door. Is that the customer's fault? No. Is it my fault? Not really. Is it the designer's fault? Not really. Framers? No. I mean, kind of nobody's fault. But somebody's got to step up and take control and figure out how we figure that out. So the other one for me, at times, that has caused stress is managing multiple projects. And, you know, I set my papers down here so I can juggle it. If you're going like this, all of a sudden, something drops, right? We're going to drop one of those balls eventually. if we don't have great processes and procedures and ways to handle stress in place. So we need to take a look at how we're managing things and kind of beginning with the end in mind with all of these projects. So that it just can be stressful. You got 3 projects, they're all at different phases. There's a lot going on. And if you don't have help, get some. Lastly, difficult clients, right? We've all had them. And the best way to avoid a difficult client or deal with a difficult client is just to communicate on a high level and ask yourself, hey, if I were in their shoes, would I feel like that was an unreasonable question? Probably not. Would I feel like I was attacking the contractor by simply asking a few questions about the process? No. So don't get all jammed up when somebody asks you what's going on, what's next, how this plays out, why this is this way instead of that. It's not. Don't frame everything as a complaint. Sometimes we get defensive, right? And just converse and communicate with the customers, make them feel at ease. That's your job, and you're accountable to them to make sure things go right. So some techniques for dealing with mental resilience or to build mental resilience, I always say this to the clients, focus on what we can control. If something's out of your control, then it's out of your control. If you're dealing with an unexpected delay and it causes a change to the schedule, communicate that to the client. Don't let them hear that from someone else. Make sure it comes from you, okay? Control the controllables. Anytime you've got a project management issue, bring the customer in. Let's talk about it. The most successful large projects I've done, we've had a weekly meeting with the client and me. Just a quick check-in. Could be on Zoom, could be on site, could be just a phone call. Hey, it's Tuesday at 5:30. Just checking in on how things went for the last week. If you got anything that's bubbling to the top, let's talk about it. Anything you need me for, anything I missed, anything that needs to be ordered. That's how we stay ahead of it. And that's why nothing ever gets more than 4 or 5 days old. Nobody's stewing on anything, and it comes out and bubbles to the top. Mental conditioning. You know, a great way to deal with these stressors and build resilience is just to condition yourself mentally. Waking up and having some gratitude. I know that might sound woo-woo, but just thinking, hey, before you get out of bed in the morning, wow, I have food, transportation, and shelter, right? Got a business that I'm able to get up every day and throw some haymakers and try to make some hay, right? And hey, family's happy, healthy, all of those things that you might have going on. Just take a minute and actually recognize that, hey, things are okay. I've got to deal with a stressful client today, or geez, the decking's 2 weeks out. I can't get the electrician there. Guys, it's just work, and it's just a business, all right? It's not life, and it's not worth losing heartbeats over, okay? You know, visualization. Visualize the end of the project. Visualize the plumber showing up today, or whatever it is. It works. I don't know why, right? Just have a positive attitude, okay? And do some things on your own. I don't care. Do yoga. Sit in a chair, listen to your favorite podcast. You know, I like to get up, hop on the couch, get my laptop open. I call it my world domination time, right? Where I've got the phone, I've got the laptop, I've got a nice hot cup of coffee, and I'm just planning out the day if I didn't do it the day before, seeing what's going to come at me. Mondays are great for that. See, going through the phone and seeing, hey, what's this week look like? Where are our speed bumps? And we try to eliminate them. So, and lastly, building a support system, right? This stuff is hard. You know, everybody thinks that being a contractor, you drive around on a $70,000, $100,000 truck, drinking coffee and just walking on the job saying, what's going on, get back in your truck and leave. It's far from that, okay? And it takes a lot out of you, it takes a lot of work, and it's hard to do by yourself. I've done it, I've tried it, I've been successful at certain levels and highly unsuccessful at others. When I've been most successful is when I've got a support system. I'm joining that industry group, that trade group, or that coaching group, or for instance, our edge community. Things like that where people are having the same struggles as you. Get in those groups. Find a mentor. Find somebody that's a lap or two ahead of you on this journey of being a contractor and owning your own business. They don't have to be a contractor either. They could be somebody that's just been successful at business or is somewhere in life that you'd like to be and you're not there yet. So that can be very helpful. You know, and like you're not in this alone. Reach out. Get involved in our community. Do more. Hop on the page. Do it. You know, you guys that haven't joined our Edge community, jump in, see what it's all about, especially if you're a contractor. So, you know, guys, I've had jobs that have gone well. I've had jobs that have gone poorly. And one of the things that I always try to recognize is that no matter what goes on a project, it can all be traced back to me and something that I did or didn't do, could have done better, or did do well, or put someone in the right spot or the wrong spot, or used the wrong sub for a situation, the dynamic with the customer was wrong or off, or I didn't get somewhere before someone else got there and vanguard something and prepare somebody for something. So again, it's a lot about just being in the right place at the right time, communicating at a high level, having a high level of character and integrity in what you do, and just shooting people straight. I wanted to leave you with some actionable things that you can do, steps you can take to build mental resilience. We talked about that daily, the gratitude. So a mental resilience routine, I call it. You can journal. I had a goal to do some journaling this year. Haven't done a bit of it. It does help me though, and I really should. It's on my fourth quarter goals to just do some journaling. Maybe it's once a week. You don't have to do it every day. Just write down some things. Hey, my work with Ben Newman, one of the top 5 mental performance coaches in the world, he talks about creating a never do it again list. And I've done that with contracting where I think, I'm never doing that again. I'm never doing a change order without a signed change order, complete payment up front, and making sure that it becomes part of the contract documents. There's a non-negotiable for you, right? And you learn those kinds of things when they cost you money. So embrace stress as a growth opportunity. It's my next one. You just look at it, guys, there's value in everything, right? So if you've got something that's kind of overwhelming you, getting under your skin, stressing you out, take a step back, say, where's the value in this? Where's the lesson? What do I need to learn here so that I don't have to be here again? Because I don't like the feeling of this. It's just when you walk around all day and you're like this, waiting for the next punch to hit you, it's not a good feeling. Much better feeling to be on the offensive. Be the one kind of throwing the haymakers, throwing those jabs. Hey, I'm gonna get out ahead of this guy. Hey, I know we're not expecting that guy till next week, but I'm gonna check in with him on Wednesday and see if he's gonna be around, making sure they know it's important. So reach out to your network for support, like we talked about. Guys, find somebody that's doing what you're doing. Hey, you seem like you do really well at having tough conversations. Would you spend 10 minutes with me? Wow, hey, looks like you've done a job just like me in our area. Would you consider having a cup of coffee with me? You guys might be surprised. I've got a local contractor that does exactly what I do. We grab coffee or lunch once every couple of months, and we talk about who's available, who they're using for trim work, who's a good concrete guy, who to stay away from on this side of things, and we look at it as a way to level each other up, because a rising tide lifts all boats. The other way to look at that is we don't have a scarcity mindset. I hope he gets plenty of jobs. He hopes I get plenty of jobs. He texted me this past week and said, hey, would you like a master bathroom project? Boom. Yeah, here's the lady's name. We called her, we're off and running. Now I hope to return the favor for him. So one of the other things that I wanted to impress upon you guys is don't take it personally. Don't take it personally. I've had jobs that run fantastic, but we might be working with a customer that complains all the time, right? I get back in the vehicle and I'm like, man, things are just terrible. And I say, wait a minute, the job is going well. We're on schedule. We're on budget. Everybody's getting along. Everybody's showing up. I might just be working with an Eeyore, right? So keep it in perspective. Don't take it personally. Contracting, particularly for the customer, if they're doing a renovation or a new home, it's highly emotional. They're dealing with money, they're dealing with opinions, you might have wife, husband, and they're kind of knocking back and forth on different decisions. There's not always agreement. Okay, so you end up becoming a counselor sometimes. And lastly, I would just say, let it go. And this one's the hardest one for me. Just because I say something doesn't mean I'm good at it. I might be driving down the road, coming from a job, being pissed off and saying, I can't believe this and I can't believe that. But really all you're doing is taking heartbeats off your life when you're doing that. Okay, you got to let it go. A great friend shared a tactic with me one time. It's like when that stuff lands on you, just like a bug landed on your shoulder. Ooh, we're done with the job. We're on to the next one. I would liken it to being a relief pitcher or a place kicker, right? Baseball or football. You got to have a short memory. Don't let that stuff bother you. Make sure you're checking the big boxes. Are we on schedule? Are we on budget? Is everybody safe? Going home with everything they came to work with, and we're doing a good job. Don't let anybody take that from you. And there's a quote here that I found. Building resilience is like building a muscle. The more you work at it, the stronger it gets. So just like personal development, guys, business development and the things we are trying to do well at business, we're never done. we're getting better at all the time. And we're looking out, and we don't really ever want to catch those guys that are doing it better than us, because we want them to get better as well. So yes, I'm going to wrap up. This has been on one of my my newer videos. It's been a bit since I sat down and did this, so probably not going to edit this much, because I just want it to be raw, real, and relevant, and hopefully it'll resonate with you guys. I do have a free checklist you can download. It's the first time I've done that. Hope the link works. If it doesn't, message me. If you think somebody might be well served to listen to this video, and you think they might benefit from being involved in one of our coaching programs, working with me personally, or getting out and talking to some of the members in our Edge community, our Peak community, our Summit Facebook page, please pass it on. I'm trying to build this. I'm trying to build a community, trying to do this full time, and I just love helping people and conveying some of the things, or a lot of the things that I've done in contracting, so a lot of things that I haven't done well, and you know, if I could go back, what would I do? I'm 55 now. Maybe I can help that 25, 30-year-old person avoid some of the mistakes that I've made. And lastly, this quote: remember, the strongest structures are built on the most solid foundations, and your mindset is no different. So guys, get your head right so you can get your jobs right. I'm Bob Turner. I hope you enjoyed this video. Pass it along, like, subscribe, share, all the stuff. I appreciate you guys, and I'll talk to you real soon. Take care.